Viven en un country. Andan en BMW para arriba. Los fines de semana se cogen a las mejores minas. Morfan bien todos los días. El día anterior al partido durmieron tranquilamente en un hotel 5 estrellas y se rascaron la verga durante 24 horas sin hacer nada, jugando al ping-pong y al pool y a la play. Juegan al fútbol todos los días de su vida. Los botines, $6.000, $5.000, no sé cuánto salen, ponele 3.000 mangos, 4.000 mangos, están vendados por un kinesiólogo. Están bien comidos, están bien entrenados. Las medias, que son las que no te cortan la circulación, los pantaloncitos, que son los de los huevos, que no te raspan los huevos, la camiseta te estira la espalda, es la que no transpira, que sale 800 pesos, no sé cuánto sale una camiseta para jugar al fútbol. La pelota es perfecta, perfecta, 120 euros, inflada con un barómetro a 8 bares, la cancha no tiene un solo pozo, el arco tiene 7 metros 20 por 2,40. Te aplauden cuando salís a la cancha. La concha de tu madre, no sabés parar una pelota. Le vas a pagar al arco y la tirás a la mierda. Le vas a hacer un pase a tu compañero que está a 1 metro y haces así, se la pasas mal. Hijo de puta, eso me puede pasar a mí con esta panza. No.
I understand the anger. But do you know what it is? We didn't even have players. I'm going to go straight right into it. Big up to everyone in the chat. There's no time for saying hellos. Why, you may ask, is because we're 4 points to Man City, and we got a game in at the away against Man City. It's just no time for talking right now. No time for it. We need to get straight right into this, because listen, I've seen a couple of people on the internet saying, oh, don't worry, you know, it was never going to be a perfect ride. It has to be bumpy, blah, blah, blah. Listen, bro, we've been playing this football since we started. And when we told you, man, that play style, so the play style when it comes to 38 games, it matters. The way you win in 38 games, it matters. In a competition, it doesn't. Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, there it doesn't. But when we're playing a Premier League that is 38 games, that teams are going to study you and you're going to have game after game. You're going to play home and away against every team. You think they're not going to have... Listen, bro, we were supposed to lose yesterday. We're supposed to lose. Let's be real. Let me read this out for you. You know, sometimes I just get upset for no reason. I shouldn't be like this. Listen. This is the thing there. Attempts. We've got 60% of the football to us for no fucking reason, just recycling the ball. You know, Odegaard halftime. We're going to talk about that after. 40% to them. Expected goals, 0.60 against Brentford. Oh, but they're sixth. They didn't spend 1 billion and a bit, bro. They weren't in the process for 7 years. These teams are all on a rebuild, bro, except us. We're on top. We're supposed to dominate. So, we got expected goals 0.60. Total shots, 7. I didn't even see those 7. I don't understand. Shots on target, 2. Big chances created. 1. Big chances missed, obviously 1 because of the 2 shots on target. Now Brentford, that didn't need to spend all that money. That just have a regular team with regular players, couple of good players, Igor and the right wing, Henderson, some good players. The rest are regular. That's how you know it's the manager, bro. You can't tell man it's not the manager. Carrick brought a Man United that everybody thought was playing relegation to now balling out, bro. You cannot tell me it's not a manager. Everything is the manager. How about that? Everything is about the manager. You pick the team, you buy the players, you tell us who to keep. You've got expected goals from Brentford 1.34 against us, against Arsenal, against the best defense in the world. We've got the best defense in the world, the best midfield, the best attack. We've got Saka, Odegaard. We've got all these ballers, bro. 1.34 expected goals. Total shots, 12. 12. They should have beat us, bro. I don't understand. Thank God we got a draw. I'll be real. Thank God we got a draw. 12 shots. 3 shots on target. 3 big chances created. And 2 big chances missed. Igor probably missed both of them. That's how you know, bro. That's how you know. This ain't the first time. This ain't the first time. We've been playing like this. It's just that we didn't get a set piece or our own goal today to save us. Big up the set piece coach. He's doing everything in this club. Going forward, the plan is to get set pieces, people. That's the plan. Do you get it? Like, we going into games, the plan is to get set pieces. It's not to create, it's not to counter, it's not to play direct football, it's not to play. The idea is to get set pieces. That's how mad it is. And when you tell people, oh, it doesn't matter, bro, we're winning, cool. Until we aren't. It's 38 games. It's not a competition. It doesn't end in 8. I don't care if you play like this in competitions. But Premier League, 38 games, you're playing against. Dan, please tell me how you felt about that game.
Deflated, my bro. Deflated. Absolutely deflated, man. Like I was saying to you before, as soon as I see Man City beat Fulham, 3 points behind, I knew trouble was on the way, man. I could feel it. You understand? I said to myself, yeah, I can't say. I was 50-50. We might win, we might not win. You understand? Everyone before the game was of the agreement, this is a must-win game. Yeah? You were saying it. The most positive Arsenal fans were saying it's a must-win game. We've got to get the win. Yeah?
Yeah.
Full-time strikes, we haven't got the win. It's 1-1. Now these fans have changed the narrative. Do you understand? It's not a must. It wasn't a must-win game anymore. It was a good point. Brentford's a good team. They're 6th in the league. No one's gone over there and got wins and this and that. All this fucking nonsense, bro. Do you understand? The bottom line is, when the pressure is on, yeah, when that heat is cranked up, we don't get over the line. And what's the reason for that? Yeah, you've got to start looking, like you said, you've got to start looking at the manager. Because we've been here before. Season in, season out, season in, season out. Crunch time comes, we seem to crumble. There's no excuses. There's no excuses for fucking not beating Brentford. What more do you need to what's the word I'm looking for?
Evidence.
Not evidence. Incentive. The word is incentive.
That's the word, Manny. What more incentive do you need to go out there and get the job done? But we're watching the first half and Brentford are all over us. We didn't come out to play football. Do you understand? Didn't come out to play football. Second half, we got better. Madueke got his goal. What does he do? He hooks Madueke off. Brings on an injured Saka that wasn't ready. I see Saka on the bench with hot water bottles. He had hot water bottles. He weren't ready to come back into the team. Do you understand? And for me, I've got a feeling of impending doom. That's the word you're looking for, impending doom. Something catastrophic is coming. The only thing that can save this season and the only reason that we're going to be winning the league this season is if Man City continue to falter. That's just the truth of the situation. If Man City now click into gear, because it looks like they just might, everyone's saying, oh, it's not the same Man City of old. Well, they've beaten Liverpool away from home, and now they've beaten Fulham 3-0. Yeah? They could go on a run right now. And if they do go on a run, we're in big trouble, people. We are in big trouble. Same old story in Balamory. Yeah? You've got people in your chat right now calling us negative and we want the team to lose and all this nonsense, man. Yeah, when it's time to criticize the team, you criticize the team. When it's time to be positive, be positive. We spoke about my viral video, AFTV, singing Yokerez's name out. Do you understand? Positive. That's what I was. 9 points clear. Couldn't see Man City beating Liverpool. How wrong was I? I was on there talking about Pep Guardiola's. He's not the same man. Disrespecting Big Pep. Do you understand? This is what I'm talking about. You know what? The other narrative I've had enough of right now. Yeah? It's time to get behind your team, guys. Back your team. Get your what's it called again? Get some balls. That's what they're saying. All of us here back Arsenal. Yeah? When that whistle blows, when the game starts, everyone's backing Arsenal. All Arsenal fans back Arsenal. That's just normal. Yeah? But we're not going to ignore what's happening. Crumbling. We can't ignore it. Oh, forget about Man City, they're saying. You can forget about Man City. How can I forget about Man City when they're 3 points behind you? How are you going to forget about Man City? Make that make sense. Our title rivals. So you're in a title run, a title chase against Man City, but you're telling us forget about them. Make that make sense. It makes no sense, Rash, man. And I'm concerned, I'm worried. Yeah, I just don't know what's gonna happen this season. Obviously, I'm not saying that we're not gonna win it. I'm not saying that we are gonna win it, but as it's looking form-wise, 2 wins out of our last 6 games, it's not looking too clever, people. It is not looking too clever. Our only saving grace is that we're playing Wolves on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day it is. I think we should beat them, but I'm not 100% on that no more either. I'll be honest with you.
No, hopefully we do. Hopefully we do. We do beat Wolves. And Man City got a big game too, innit? They got Newcastle, no? They got Newcastle.
Newcastle at home.
Yeah.
Would have been punching up all season. Let's get that out of there as well.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
Carabao cut 2 legs. Come on, man.
100%, man. Big up. Gunner CV. I think it's going to be like 1989. If we win, it will be 1 or 2 points. Hopefully.
They did not win the league by goal difference that year. It wasn't even 1 or 2 points.
Do we care, BBK? Let's be real. We do not care if it's 1 point goal difference. I just win it, bro. Just win it. It's time to win now. It's time to win. We put too much effort into this. It's time to win, bro. Even for the top gooners, it's time to win for them. Like, they put so much effort into this. Gassing up the manager, glazing over him. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, everything he does, we have to just say yes. Yes, master. No, master. You know what I'm saying? What is this, bro?
They're praying. You know what they're praying for? Them top gooners, they're praying for. I said it in my little video down there. I told you so moment. They're so wrapped up in this I want to be right, and I told you so. I backed the team all throughout the season. I was the guy pushing it. What was
can't come to the parade.
You was being negative. This, that. They want that I told you so much, so they can't go against their narrative. Yeah, it's okay to come out and say after Brentford that you're worried and we should have won and it wasn't good enough and question the manager. It's okay to do that. Do you understand?
So I'm gonna translate this one. Big up, you know I'm not gonna say Muludia, you know that, right? Like Man City through and through, bro, through and through. Arsenal Dima Hakibdo. Okay, he's saying that Arsenal are usually start strong, but this is the moment where they usually fall off. Big up, man, big up. But in English, better.
Right. We've seen this movie before.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. AFC saying crumbling again. Ole, ole. Footy Bants is saying also Declan Rice every time. Big up Declan Rice, bro. I should have played that clip, by the way. Declan Rice is always a good player, bro. I'll be real with you. He was one of the best on the pitch yesterday. I asked questions a couple of weeks ago on BBK. Can Arsenal extend the gap, cement the league title like we did last season, or drop points like you've done in seasons past? BBK, let's go.
So and he's right. He has asked that question on my channel many times, and the opportunities have been there, and we haven't done it. The opportunities was there against Liverpool themselves, against Man United, against Forest away, and yesterday there was a great opportunity for us to move the goalpost or widen the lead. The thing is, we have seen over the past 2 weeks that Manchester City, they show us how to deal with pressure. When we play first and we win, and then the onus is on them, they deal with the pressure and they go ahead and win. Now, they play first ahead of us and win, and then we, with the pressure on us, wet the bed. That's what we did. Once I saw 0-0 at halftime yesterday, I was like, it's going to be long. I don't know at what point did you, man, come to the realization that we're not winning this game, but it was at halftime for me. Because at halftime, all of a sudden now, we're depending on Mikel to make a tactical adjustment to win a game. And we don't see that quite often, right? Just don't. Him making a tactical adjustment to influence the game in a positive way. All he did was like-for-like subs. It was Eze for Odegaard. Yeah.
Do you think that was harsh for Eze? Regardless if he played well or not, do you think that's harsh?
I didn't see the first half, so I can't even speak on it. But I heard he was poor. But I'm saying at this point, you know how much I love Eze Rashid. Yeah. I don't think Eze is blameless, but we have to have the conversation. We can't ignore it anymore. Why is it that every attacker is stinky why every single attacker? I'm seeing we've been linked to Julian Alvarez in the summer, and we're talking about how well Ethan is going to develop in France. It doesn't matter. When they come back here, they're still going to be shit in our shit system. The reason why all of a sudden Eze just looks like he forgot how to play football. The man who dragged Palace.
I think he barely touched the ball first half. Did anyone see anything he did? Have you seen him?
I didn't
see Zubimendi either. Couple brothers went missing yesterday.
Facts.
So do that, Arteta, for a tactical adjustment. Take off Zubimendi. Like it's 0-0. We need to win the game. You take off Zubi and you put Eze on. You praise Odegaard for his pressing, right? A pressing is a defensive action.
Yeah.
So you need more defense. You keep Odegaard on the press, then he can lead the press, and you have Eze, another creator. Because I do think Odegaard can be useful when you have another creative outlet on the pitch with him. Because once he comes on now my agenda antennas are fully up, and I'm watching him. I'm not watching the game. I'm watching him. And in the 55th minute, I see him kick the ball out the damn stadium. And in the 59th minute, I see him overhit a pass to Timber, kicks it out for a goal kick. And then he is at fault for the damn goal. Lewis Potter was his man.
Facts.
Now we've seen Eze get benched at Villa Park. Once I saw the number 10 in the frame when Matty Cash scored, I said he's getting hooked at halftime. Now Odegaard falls asleep. If that was Eze, now maybe it's a good thing that Eze got hooked. Because if that was him at fault for another goal, Arteta would have cut his balls off and handed it to him, big worm style. You know what I mean? He would have been done out here, bro. I just don't. Oh, goddamn. Right. Brentford, they lost. 220 goal a season scorers. They lost their captain to us and their manager to Tottenham and were the better team yesterday. At no point did they feel like they were out of that game, even when they were down 1-0. They felt like they could win this. That's Man City. They're begging to get out of there with a point. At no point did Fulham feel like they were in the game. They were down 3-0 at the half. Man City was trying to erase our goal difference. That's what they were trying to do. They didn't score one goal and shut up shop. They were trying to put 6 past them so they could have superior goal difference. They know what they're doing. They've been here before. And we're acting like the rookies. Now, all of a sudden, I look at the Premier League schedule, Rashid, for the next 12 games, bro. That's 12 banana skins for me. That I can't.
But we have a chance next game, don't we? We have a chance next game. Because they got Newcastle, all due respect, you know, they got Newcastle, we've got Wolves. And I know what happened against Wolves, but Wolves are gone. So I don't know what kind of version of Wolves we're going to see. Do you give me, BBK?
No, they're going to give us the low block, which what the top gooners use as an excuse why we can't break down teams. As if teams are opening up against Man City. Bro, Pep faced a low block he's been facing a low block for 8 years in this league. Team didn't open up against Wenger. We face low blocks. This seems like this low block thing is a new thing that's only applied to Arsenal. Like, bro, Fulham had 10 men behind the ball as well, but they still were down 3-0 at halftime. Move the ball faster and play better football is what we need to do. But all of our attackers look stinky. Collective decline in all of our attackers, bro. No one can tell me Eze just all of a sudden forgot how to play football. I seen this boy last year in a quarterfinal versus Fulham in the FA Cup. Score, bang. Against Villa in the semifinal. Score, bang. In the final against Man City, he scores. All of a sudden, he comes in our system. He looks stinky because he is receiving the ball from a defensive position. Everything is all about defending. Then we get the ball to look like we don't know how to attack. Unless we systemically change how we play football or he changes philosophy, get ready for 12 of the stinkiest games you're ever going to see between now and Super Sunday.
Crazy. You know what's crazy, Rash? We got Johnny in the chat right now, bro. And them man there was talking about this is a negative show and I can't watch it. And here he is in the chat being negative right now. Yeah, can you see why we have this mind frame and why we say what we say sometimes? Yeah, it's not no agenda. It's not coming from no place of darkness. It's just being real. That's it.
I don't have a paper in front of me. When I was speaking from my heart. You see me on the street. So, Bear man, I've been meeting. Do you know what I'm saying? Big up to Jez, by the way. Hope you're well. Hope wifey's well too. All praise go to you. Hope your family's well. Big up Eros as well. Big up Lenny. All the man them. Johnny Wahaha. You know what I'm saying? Paris man them. We'll get to that one. We'll get to that one later, Paris. Yeah? I saw it. Murudi as well. Big up, man. This is the thing, yeah. when they say agenda, like, why would I have agenda against the club? Why would I hate Arsenal and follow them with this passion to get what? To get what, bro? If I hated them, I would gas this manager. I would want them to stay like this for years. It's like, were you upset when Thomas Frank was sacked? I was upset. Bro. I wanted him to stay. I didn't want him to get sacked. Do you get it? Now that's hate. That's hate to Tottenham. That's something I wouldn't want for Arsenal. But it doesn't matter. I don't listen to these guys, bro. Do you know why, bro? It's like everything they say. Let's play this one. Bro. Let's play this one. Okay, just to show you what we're dealing with right now.
At the end when he played Timber through and Martinelli should score. And the irony is, of course, despite all that, we could have won it at the end and didn't take the opportunity when it fell to us. So yeah, incredibly frustrating.
We could have won.
We'll go into some of the finer details, I'm sure, but it's not the only thing I will say on just, I like to put a positive spin on things.
That guy looks like Andrew Tate on the top.
This is probably,
I was like, what the fuck? Is he supporting Arsenal?
Toughest game that we had left this season. The one being tougher being the City game. Of all the games we've got left, I'd say this is probably the second toughest because of how good they are.
Second toughest game.
And against big teams. And I think every other game we've got this season, I'd say, is not as challenging besides that trip to City. So take the point, run away.
That's what you said before the game.
Wounds and look to go again next game.
And these are the guys that get to ask questions in the press conference.
Yes.
That Canton, him and Carter Hill and that damn Charles Watts. That's why we can never get tough questions asked. Because man got his nose so far. I digress.
Exactly. Up his yes. Say it, bro. Say it. That's what they do.
Those are the mans that can't be real. Do you understand?
Facts.
They've slept into that darkness and that agenda-driven punditry that they're coming with. Just be real, man. Yeah? Their heart saying one thing, do you understand? But they're not talking from their heart. Yeah? They're talking from a biased place, man.
Yeah, 100%. They want to keep their job. He said we could have won, bro. Who the fuck would say we could have won, bro? That was Brentford. They played better than us. I just read you the whole stats. You, man, love stats, right? Not you, them, man. You, man, love stats, right? I just read you. They had 5 big chances. 5. We had 2. What are you talking about?
Brother,
anyway, Manny, take it away, please.
All right, just quickly. But without Raya and Mascara, we could have lost that game 3.
Facts, bro.
Taron, let me start by saying thank you for giving Mascara credit. I've been saying for quite some time, and I remember saying on your earlier stream, Rashid, that Saliba being absent due to illness wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing because in recent games he's been sloppy, giving the ball away. And, it's sad, really, because when he first came back and started playing for us, he was literally balling, doing a great deal of good things. And there was a part of me that was thinking with the way he was, just gliding on the pitch with the ball, being so, classy with the ball on the ground. Ideally, if you have a centre-back partnership, you want one to be good in the air, the other one to be good on the ground, so forth. I saw quite a lot of, people like David O'Leary in him. I thought that if he kept up this form, he could go on to great things. But just in the meantime, he was just allowed to become a little bit so sloppy and lackadaisical. And I'm really glad that you titled this "Raise the Standards," because it's bad enough that the standards are so are as they are. But when you see what we're capable of, the type of football we can play, and we have played better football than this, why, as a manager, would you not want to maintain those standards? What could possibly possess you to, just go down the road of going against what made you so good in the first place? And what's even worse is his man management seems to be quite horrible. And there are a few things I'm going to talk about. One of the things that's been spoken about on many forums and also on Twitter is the sort of the decline, as if you will, of Ebery Eze. It was as if he had reached his zenith in the North London derby when he scored that hat trick and had a lot of us,
Manny, you agree with me that it was a bit harsh from the manager to just sub him off 45 minutes, or are you?
Yeah, I'm going to come to that. No, I'm going to come to that. I'm going to come to that because I started on him and I will finish on him. And it's like, you know, when you have someone like him who is capable of those wonderful performances in Odegaard's position, which is the number 10, and yet you still end up, you know, benching him because you've got to get your blue-eyed, blonde-haired boy, that so-called captain, back into the team any which way. I mean, that again is just simply poor man management. And then you have a situation where, you know, due to injuries, you're obliged to start him saying, well, I'll give you this chance. I'll throw you back in after a period in the cold. Show me what you can do. And, you know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He was disappointing, and he has been disappointing whenever he started of late. But as a manager, it is your damn duty to identify really talented players and give them the confidence, improve the standard, and make sure that there is competition. You know, there's always a saying that if you perform well and you earn your right to wear that jersey and start in that jersey, you keep that right until anything were to happen. And with Eze continuing to perform well with that level of confidence, it can only be good for the team in question, because you increase that competition and you raise the standards, as it were. But again, it's favoritism. And I'm going to say right now that Eze will have to do a great deal of work, but I'm also one of those people who will believe that if we fail to win anything and Arteta does get sacked and we bring in a new manager, then this new manager we bring in will at least have the common sense to, you know, recognize talent and give them their chances to shine. Look at what's happening with Manchester United and Michael Carrick. After Ruben Scamarin was given his P45, you know, Carrick came in and pretty much undid all of the damage, most of the damage that Portuguese fraud did. And all of a sudden they're playing better. But I'm going to say this right now, United fans. Not only are you not winning the league, but Champions League football is by no means guaranteed. You've still got to play Aston Villa at home, and you've got a few other tough games in between. Wind your necks in and stay humble. Stay humble, eh? As Erling Haaland would say. But you see what happens there when you have a manager who has that level of sensitivity and the ability to man manage. Arteta doesn't have that. And so Eze, it really is suffering under some poor man management. But having said that, you sometimes have to understand that, you know, when you get an opportunity, you have to be prepared and make sure you take it. But again, Taron brought up the Aston Villa game at Villa Park where Eze was shunted onto the left wing. I don't believe he's comfortable in the wing. I believe his best position is at number 10 for us. So it's not a position where he was, you know, in which he was comfortable. Yes, you can say that he probably should have had the foresight to find out where Matthew Cash was. But then you also have to take a look at David Raya. All these people who drool over him saying, oh, he's the best in the world, world class, another golden glove incoming, and he allows that ball to just go through his legs. I was a goalkeeper in my youth. You do not spread your legs that wide. And it reminds me of an old cricket joke where, you know, a cricket fielder sort of allows the ball after being edged by the batsman to go through his legs to a boundary, and he concedes 4 runs. He walks up to the bowler and says, sorry, I should have kept my legs together. And the bowler says, not you, son. Your mum should have kept her legs together. And it is an ugly joke. But again, you know, when you have these disappointing performances, you win as a team and you lose as a team. But once again, more and more players are being scapegoated by this manager who doesn't have any managerial sensitivity. And Eze is being suffered as a result of that. And so you can argue whether it's harsh or not. It was exactly very harsh. I believe it was harsh, especially since there was no guarantee that Odegaard was fit. But we all now know that he and Saka were rushed back. And that's his thing. He rushes back his important players who he would like to, get back into the squad by hook or crook. Obviously, two of his favourites, Havertz and Merino, are out for some time. Merino might potentially be out until the end of the season. We don't know. But this was also another opportunity to give another of his purchases, going back to his old stomping ground where he was captain, a chance to play and show what he could do. He didn't do that. That is poor man management. So not only does he tactically have no clue to manage a game in the interim, but in terms of man management, he alienates players. How much would it have meant for Christian Norgard to at least get a run out to replace either a tiring Declan Rice or an ineffective Martin Zubimendi or anyone, and at least play a role in either, looking for a winner and or just keeping things a little bit tight. Because our midfield and defense were, run roughshod, it has to be said. And even when Jordan Henderson, the old warhorse, came on for Brentford, he was able to, add a little bit more bite. I was surprised, in fact, that Brentford didn't start him. I actually thought that this was a game where we would expect the occasional England
I think they wanted runners in that midfield, Manny. That's what I thought.
It could have been the case, but then also with Henderson, what you also get is a great deal of nows in being able to hold that midfield and just, find the good pass. I do get what you're saying, but again, he also would have had to know how to tackle Declan Rice, given all the years for which they played together for England. And you say you want runners, but I'm sure he would have been able to deal with Martin Zubimendi quite well. But Norgard should definitely... This was a game for Norgard to play in. And so if you aren't willing to give him this opportunity to play on his on his former home ground, if not for sentimental reasons, at least for tactical and sensibility reasons, are you really a good thinker of the game, as people say you are? Do you really have your finger on the pulse of what's going on here? No. As far as I'm concerned, the man's a bullshitter. And pardon my language, please. And I'm also going to ask for your pardon again, because I keep saying on Northside's channel, one of the most popular memes is, you have two people side by side. And the caption is, when you know you're shit, Y-O-U-R. And then the other one is, when you know you're shit, Y-O-U''R-E. Arteta knows he's shit. And he will never, ever, ever be fit to lace the boots of managers like Pep Guardiola or Unai Emery or anyone else. And the reason why those managers are much better is because they at least have the common sense to know how to get the best out of players and their talents. What you have here, gentlemen, is a manager who likes to stifle talent, mold players into his own harebrained idea of how they should play, because he has some sort of a rigid harebrained system which he believes will work. I'm sorry, he's not cut out to be a manager. He's a decent enough coach, but tactically, contrary to what people say, he's not it. He is not it. And yet we've been continuing to, as Lee Gunner would say, wing it with this manager. But finally, there will come a day when the wings either get weakened or they end up getting clipped. And the sad part is, whenever we fly too close to the sun, the wax might melt and the wings might end up disintegrating. So as Taran said, we've got to fix up. I think Dan said the same thing. And we've also got to be prepared at this rate for some really, scummy, jammy, effective cup finals from now until the end of the season. And even then, I'm not too sure we're going to have the ability to get over the line. And speaking of cup finals, I'm definitely not confident about the League Cup final against Manchester City, because they're getting into some momentum. They probably could have, tried to score more goals to, wipe out the goal difference. But you see a team that's slowly but surely showing signs of getting back to their best. And I know if we know Pep Guardiola very well, he is not going to allow the team to become complacent and sloppy the way they were in the second half at the Tottenham Stadium. It is important that we win that game, succeed where they couldn't. But even then, I just don't think it's going to be enough. And we've got to really, really, really get our act together.
100%, 100%. Speaking of...
Are we sure he learned anything from Pep? Like, we talk about him as a Pep protege, but are we? Because where did he learn this defensive bullshit? It wasn't from Pep.
Is it? It can't be from Pep.
Yeah, because Pep plays attractive football that you want to see. But Arteta he developed under Pep, but we don't play anything like City. So, I mean, when he was putting out cones, did he look up once? You know what I mean? Because we have, in the Manchester City team, we got Nico O'Reilly, who started out as left back, and everyone said he's not a left back. You know where he's playing now? In the midfield. Matter of fact, he took Skelly's job in the England squad, playing left back midfield. But we got Skelly, and Manny touched on man management there. If you were a Skelly, And you see the manager he's willing to rework his entire back line not to play you. He's willing to move the best right back in the league to left back when Capi and Calafiori was injured, not to play Skelly. Any sense of a manager would just, okay, this guy played a left back last year, played well enough to get an England call up. Let me just play him in now. Man weakens our right side and takes Timber off and plays him at left back to play Benjamin White, not to play Skelly. That is poor man management. When you got Eze as an unused sub for 4 games and then you bring on an unfit Kai Havertz, now he's injured again, so we know he wasn't fit. You play him over Eze in the 10. Poor man management. You bring on Mikel Merino in the creative space over Eze. Poor man management. Eze has lost his World Cup spot. He is not going. And he's 27 years old, so he may never play World Cup for England. And you expect this player to go win you a game with 12 minutes left every time you throw him out there. Bruv. He's not going to do it. Poor man management. And it's going to catch up to him. Sorry.
No, 100%, bro. Like Black said, BBK's asking important questions. Listen, I'm gonna hit you with this, yeah. This is the attacking form of the Premier League teams and how many goals they scored. This is with the set pieces, yeah. We scored 50. Man City have scored 54. Aston Villa scored 37. Manchester United, man, them. Relegation Manchester United, broken Manchester United, 47 goals. 47 goals they scored. Chelsea, what was Chelsea? Come on, bro. We're all laughing at Chelsea, right? 47 goals. That's how much, we are not firing, bro. We need to score way more goals. We need to find the ways to open up these teams when they play the low block against us. But they found us out, bro. They found us out because it's 38 games. Do you know what I'm saying? This is what it is. Let's move on. This is the thing, yeah? Move on to the next game, Wigan. Now, FA Cup, yeah? In my opinion, my kind of style, I like Klopp. I like to go for everything. End up with one thing. Obviously, it varies. If we're in the Premier League at some point, you can obviously play a certain team. If we're trying to save players, whatever. We've got Wigan. I want to see some football, please. I don't want to put on the game and then fall asleep half of the game, bro. Let's not do this. Let's see some football. This is Wigan. I don't want to see no set pieces. I don't want to see that. I want to see some football build up from the back, direct attacking, creating opportunities. I want to see that, bro. Arsenal used to be football back in the day. Do you know what I'm saying? Even with Wenger, we used to have football. You know when Arteta joined the team, he twanged us. They told us that he's the next Pep Guardiola, and then he ended up the next Jose. I just don't understand. The guy, is he Spanish? I've never seen a Spanish guy play this kind of football ever. But that's how it is. Dan, what would you want to see against Wigan, bro?
I was looking at Wigan. Wigan are in League One, in the relegation zone in League One, been getting smashed up 6s and 5s. So I'm very confident about this game. I think we can completely rotate in this game. Get the whole second team out there. I want to see Ben White out there. Mosquera, get him out there again. Norgard, get him some game time. Skelly would have been a perfect game for Ethan Wanyeri if Wanyeri was there, but we all know what's happened there. Do you understand? Martinelli's obviously going to get a run out. Jesus. Yeah, so I think we're going to see some good football at the Emirates on Sunday, man. That's what I expect to see. I think Wigan are obviously going to come low block. They're going to be fighting. They're going to want to put on a good performance. They probably know they're going to go out, but they're going to want to show themselves to be a decent team. But like I said, they're League One in the relegation zone, man. So I'm looking forward to the Wigan game. Good to see some of these players that are on the fringes get some game time, see what they're about, get a couple of goals maybe. I'm hoping to see if at least a 3-0 victory. Yeah,
I hear that.
But then again, we look at that game. Is that going to mean anything for us to going forward? It's not. It's not going to be a marker, just like the Kairat game. These type of games, it's no marker, but it's still the FA Cup. So it'll be you know what it is? It's a nice break from the Premier League. That's what it will be. Yeah, because there's a lot of tension with the Premier League, a lot of stress. It's got me in a bit of a dark place at the moment. So it'll be refreshing just to watch a game of football, FA Cup, Wigan. And just enjoy it, man. I might go to the game. I'm not too sure at the moment. I might just stay at home. I'm not too sure. I'm contemplating if I'm going down there. But looking forward to the game, man. Looking forward to the game. A nice break from the Premier League. And then, obviously, after that, it's on to Wolves, man. But We need to get these players some game time. Poor Norgard. Hopefully don't deploy him in centre back again. I just want to see Norgard in midfield where he plays. That's it. That's what I want to see.
100%. BBK, what would you want to see in this Wigan game, bro?
Yeah, a good break from the Premier League, full rotation. I think Mikel will take pride in flexing a full 11 rotation to the best that he can. I think you'll see Skelly, you'll see Nketiah, Benjamin White, Mascara, Norgard. You know, the more I speak about the Ethan thing, the more I get upset about it, you know, because I think we made our team weaker in the damn transfer window by letting him go. I think Madueke might get another run out because clearly he prefers an unfit Saka over goddamn, you know, not a Madueke to start. But yeah, we're 5th round because the thing is, I never predicted us to win the Premier League.
Okay, big up El Capo said something that that was I thought about as well. Big up El Capo, man. He's saying, is it time to try something new? Maybe lose Skelly in the midfield with Norgard and Eze?
But we've been saying that for time, and we know he's not going to do it. That's why I referenced the Nico O'Reilly thing on the Pep, because that's essentially what Nico O'Reilly started at left back, and everyone knows that he wasn't a left back. Now he's mainstay in the Carabao Cup semi-final away at St. James's Park. He started Nico O'Reilly as a lone 4-1-4-1. He trusts that kid, and now that kid respects the manager for trusting him, and he will get the best out of that player. When Arteta is doing the complete opposite, which led me to ask the question: did he learn anything from Pep? Because it seems like he isn't. But there is no other reason. There's no reason. Wigan, League One, you say? Yeah, I'm expecting a comfortable game, even with our rotated side. They
ain't got no wins in 5. Wigan as well. There's a 6-1 in there.
We can't. And then we move on to Wednesday when we play Wolves. You know, because we play another Premier League game before Man City kick a ball again. So, yeah, a good break from the Premier League, a good day out. We can compartmentalize and just take the Premier League away for a second and focus, because this may be the only time we see some good football, you know, between this and the Champions League. Because, like I said, the next 12 games in the league, I expect to see 12 stinky performances. I don't know about the results. You know, I hope the results fall our way. But these are one of the games you can look forward to and say, okay, result and a performance. In the league, we're just open for results.
100%, man. 100%.
People in the comments are saying new manager bounce. Apparently, Wigan have sacked their manager.
Oh shit!
They ain't getting no bounce.
It had to be against Arsenal, right? Had to be against us. No, but I'm expecting 3-0, like you said, Dan. I don't care, sack the manager or not, bro. They're relegation in League One, not even playing for. Do you know what I'm saying? Not even playing for to get into the.
Hey, we've seen Argyle knock out Liverpool out of the FA Cup last year. They were the bottom of League One or some shit. Remember
I know. You never know, innit? You really don't know. Listen, man, I'm always afraid of teams that play a low block, BBK. I'll be honest. Against when we this Arsenal, anytime they play against the low block, if it's not a set piece or an own goal, it is long. You know we're not gonna open up these teams, bro. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like we overpower them. Though. Innit, BBK?
Yeah, man. I think we have to win this, you know, and it'll be another thing that we have to fight against, and it's cool. You know, we're still top of the Premier League, 5th round of the FA Cup, in a final, top of the Champions League. That will be the narrative that comes out after tomorrow's game.
It's calm. Just don't. It's calm. Time will show. Money.
This is further than we went last year. Right? Last year we got put out in the round 4 versus United. So we're progressing.
Yeah, you remember Havertz up top. Yeah. 100%, man. Manny. Okay, Manny's gone, bro. Manny's gone. I think he's facing some technical issues. The assembly is saying Mikel is his name, messing up his game. When the pressure is on, he never gains any fame. Okay, I'm a poet.
Yeah, he looks like a scared man on the sideline, Rashid. Listen, I know what a scared man looks like, just from personal experiences, right? Like we packed for a 3-day mission. We got 3 days worth of food, 3 days worth of water, 3 days worth of ammo. It's day 7 and we're still out there. And you start to look around in man's eyes, and I see a scared man. Arteta on the sideline yesterday looked like a scared man.
I saw it as well, BK, you know.
He's terrified, bro. He is the 5th official. He's the ball boy. He is what you call that guy with the flashlights at the airport, bringing in the planes.
Oh shit! I don't know. I can't lie. We need money for this one.
He's doing all that. He is scared, bro. He's terrified because he got outdone by a set piece coach.
That's mad.
Technically outsmarted.
That's what I've been telling you. Put the set piece coach as manager, bro. He's doing half the work. He's doing half of the work, bro. Look, I'll be honest, yeah. Arteta as a defensive manager, I swear the defense have a manager. Put him there. Put him there. Drop the 15.6 million to 2 and put him there, bro. That's a great position for him. I'll be real. It's a great position for him because Raya, I like Raya. Timber, I love Timber, Saliba, Gabriel. These are my favorite players. These four favorite players. Rice as well. But these are my 4 favorite players. They're always on job. Obviously, they dropped a little bit last game, but again, they have their credit in the bank. I'm not talking about Saliba. I'm talking about Gabriel. Gabriel was all right, to be honest. It was Timber that was a bit shaky, but still, that's his best attribute, bro. Defending, bro. What was you going to say?
We talk about Skelly. I'm not Skelly. You're talking about Timber, right? That was one bad performance in 26 Premier League matches. That's what we should be saying about our captain. 26 performances, and he had a bad game, and everyone is saying, "Damn, Timber is human after all."
You know what I realized yesterday, though? As much as man say Declan Rice was good, man, going forward, he's not the greatest, man. He's not the greatest guy. He can carry the ball, but you see, when you get into those little intricate positions in the pitch,
he'll break down the pitch.
He's not got nothing to his game, man. I'm telling you, he just passes it sideways. He's not going to thread a nasty pass, or he's not going to do none of that. Do you understand? That's where he's missing a bit. That's where we miss a bit going forward when we get into those positions as well. That's why I always wanted to see him as a number 6. But who am I, man? Who am I?
Yeah, exactly. Who? This is the thing. Yeah, this is what I used to tell them and start of the season. And people called me mad. You're a madman. Rice and Odegaard are the reason why we can't create. You've got Rice. Rice can do everything but creating. He can do everything but creating. Rice is the guy that gets the ball and gives you back the ball straight away. He needs someone there. That's why we look so much better when we play Eze and Odegaard. Someone with Odegaard, like BBK said, someone with Odegaard, because you can't put the 100% responsibility of creating chances on Odegaard. We just can't do that. You just can't do that. Now we know that Odegaard is like 50% here, 50% here. So what you need someone that can thread a pass. You need someone that can pick a pass. You need someone that has a little bit of individual brilliance. You know what I'm saying? We need a Shirky. We need our own Shirky, our own riders.
That's what I'm saying. That's going to bake 2 man. Tricky. Yeah. Rice ain't got that in his game. And let's be honest, he's a world-class footballer. Top draw footballer, but that's just not his game, bro. That's what we're missing.
I know, 100%. He's a destroyer, not a creator. Big up James, bro, 100%. And that's the thing. That's what we're lacking. We need that individual brilliance because when teams are going to low block us, we need to find ways to open them up. We're not finding the ways on the wings. Trossard, you know Trossard. Trossard is inconsistent. I like Trossard. Don't get me wrong, but like he's inconsistent. Martinelli, bro, like he needs space. Martinelli needs space. If Martinelli's in the situation like yesterday, it was a matter of 2 seconds. He lost the ball. He shot the ball straight at the keeper. Do you know what I'm saying? It was a great save, but you're in a position where you need to score that. You need to show people why you're not playing. You need to stand up. That's the thing. We had a player like that in one area. Big up Vichenko. Big up to you, bro. We had Ethan. Ethan can do that. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why I'll be telling them when it comes to individual brilliance, it's Max Dowman. When he's on that pitch, I can see that individual brilliance in him. Cop 2 man, boom.
You're hitting the nail on the head, bro. You're hitting the nail on the head right now because I'm just thinking about even Trossard. He's one of our most technically gifted, isn't he? He's nice with it when he gets on the ball, but let's be honest, when he's on that side, he wants to link up. He's linking up with Declan Rice, who ain't going to offer him too much, and then he's linking up with Gyökeres, who ain't going to offer him too much. That's why we're seeing this recycling, sideways. Nothing intricate going on up there, bro.
Yeah.
Nothing.
100%. 100%. And then you go to the other side, you got Saka that wants ball to feet, and then he can't cook a man no more. You know that, right? Like, we all know that Saka can't do that no more. So we need to find a way. Maybe Saka play him in the 8. He grew up playing in the 8. Play him in the left centre mid. He played left back too, so do you know what I'm saying? Like, let someone else cook with Odegaard because we can't keep going to games with Zubimendi and Rice and Odegaard in that midfield. It's not gonna work. We need someone with Odegaard. We just need someone, bro. Like, I feel like it was harsh to take off Eze, bro. Like, nobody was playing, nobody was cooking. Why is it just Eze? Nobody was playing well. Do you know what I'm saying? Why is
Right.
it just him?
I think
Even
it was
though-
harsh. If you're going to take him off at 55 or 60, but
Yeah,
half time, you're
exactly.
not even coming back out.
Do you know what I'm
Come on,
saying,
man.
bro?
Come on, man.
You destroyed him. I'll be real, man. That's destroyed him. I can't lie, bro.
Destroyed him, and everyone's going to be talking about that, and he knows that. Everyone's seen that. That's Thursday night. There's no other games on. Everyone's watching this one. Come on, Arteta, man. It's got to be better than that, bro.
Fact, 100%. This we don't need DMs, 2 DMs every game. Big up GM0E514. Exactly, bro. Like, we don't need 2 DMs every game. I understand if you play against big teams, you're afraid of City. I understand Liverpool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like, you're going against Brentford, bro. You need to go at them. Bro. We can't be doing this, bro. Noni shouldn't be here. The assembles, I hear that, bro. But that's what you get. Noni is Noni, bro. Noni shouldn't be bought for 50 million. That's some embezzlement. That's haram money right there. There's some kind of shady thing going on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he can't be 50. He can't be 50. He can't be telling me he's 50. Even though we respect Noni. You know that, Dan. BBK knows that. We respect Noni. I feel like Noni's better than Saka. But right now, of course. But I'd buy him for 15. 1.5. Do you know what I'm saying? That 35 million is
25 max. That's what we should have paid for him.
Yeah, money laundering. I'm sorry, bro. That's money laundering.
Yeah,
that's money laundering. Manny's back.
Something's going on.
In it. That come on, they're all friends, Dan. BB, come on, they're all Manny. But just chat. We all know they're friends, bro. We don't want to get into that too much.
Yeah.
But
when
yeah,
when I hear the low block excuse, that's why I asked them. I said, okay, if it's a low block, why do you have 2 DMs on the pitch? If it's a low block, you have the ball. You're going to have 60-70% of it. If it's indeed a low block. Brentford didn't play a low block yet. Brentford wanted to win that damn game. They felt disappointed with a point.
Trust me.
You know what I mean? Brother, big up to Mascara. Big up to Declan for cleaning up. Big up to David Ryan. We're talking about defensive players being man of the match. If you are going to hook Eze at halftime and bring on Odegaard, you have to win the game, Mikael. Or you have to deal with the criticism that comes along with it, especially when your captain, the guy who you replaced him with, is in the frame when Lewis Potter gets ahead of him and scores. He forgot. He can't survive.
Taron, if I could just cut right in, don't get me started on the guy who had the captain at the beginning of the game, Gabriel. I mean, that bloke should have been sent off. And there's a part of me that really can't stand him either because, when we beat Aston Villa 4-1, he made a point of, mimicking Aston Villa's Amadou Onana with his gesture at the end of every game they win. And, he's a guy who really likes to sort of give it that big chest and sort of think of himself as, Billy Big Balls or something like that. But when we lost at home to Manchester United, I mean, Harry Maguire pretty much, put him right in his place. And at the end of that game, he refused to shake Maguire's hand. And you see him right now. He has this tendency to be exceptionally petulant in his ways. He should have been sent off. I think when you take a look at the second offence where he fouled Atara, I think it was, I think the referee took into consideration that maybe there wasn't enough, contact to deem it necessary for a second booking, and even the commentators felt that way. But, there is a big problem with leadership, especially, and a lot of you will know this quote, your attitude determines your altitude. If you don't have the right altitude, you will never, be worthy of any kind of respect or any kind of status in life. You would never see Tony Adams indulging in this sort of tomfoolery. But the worst part is it all stems from the manager. And when you have a manager who seems to be okay with all of this stuff, it filters down to the players. We always say the fish rots from the head down. And it goes back to Arteta, the way he sets the team up, the way he manages his players, the sort of attitude he kind of has in a way. When he first started managing us in the second half of that 2019-2020 season, I was willing to support him, and that FA Cup win really, put him on a pedestal in my eyes. But he's long since frittered away that trust, and we're seeing a lot of aspects of the way we're playing and the way we're behaving that make me think, you know what? I don't want this guy representing my club. I don't want them what him and what he, especially ends up promoting in a way. And when you have a disrespectful person like that with his, snarky, smirky, almost, manipulative attitude. In the end, you see that the people who support him a great deal, the likes of Canton and Simiyu and others, they're in that cult. And you can also see why they're the ones who get the privileges of being able to ask him all those questions. But it stems from the manager, but some of the players as well are also guilty of, this sort of bad attitude. I kind of feel for Declan Rice. He, to me, should be the one, captaining the team. And I'm really glad that Matt's come in here, because I don't know if he caught my quote about how attitude determines altitude. But again, when you have a manager who has that sort of attitude, it filters down to the players, it filters down to the fans. And we have this sort of a high and mighty attitude, which says that, because we are the third biggest club in England in terms of trophies won, we have a right to strut about like proud peacocks. And we even have the gall to look down on Spurs' Europa League win the previous season, saying, well, we're too good for the Europa League. No, we haven't. Our European legacy is appalling. We haven't won a single European trophy apart from the European Cup Winners' Cup, which is now defunct. We won a Fairs Cup back in the day, but that isn't recognised by UEFA. So what right do we have to look down on any success saying that winning a Europa League is not a top-tier achievement? I'd kill for a Europa League. And we failed to win that 3 times. And what I'm going to say right now, and I don't know if Matt's heard this quote before, it goes something like this. Just because you may be invited to sit at the master's table, that does not mean you get to eat what the master eats. Until you prove that you are worthy of any kind of respect by actually winning trophies and getting over the line and proving that you are it, you will never be worthy of any respect. So when you have that sort of an attitude of Mourinho, but you don't have the trophies to back it up, if you can't, walk your walk in addition to talking your talk, you're not going to be given any kind of respect. And that's why if Arteta gets sacked, I want to see the new manager come in and sort of clean out these Argian stables, as you'd call them, by culling some of these players who just don't have the right attitude and bring in players who will be serious and, humble enough to want to try to win things, because we seem to have lost that identity. And it's no wonder that a lot of the older fans say that we've become a classless club. It's just disgusting in many ways. I don't know if you all will agree with that, but that's my 2 thoughts. It's 2 cents, rather.
No, 100%, man. Of course we do. Well said. Matty, how are we feeling about that game, bro? Did we not tell them? Did we not tell them since the beginning?
I think everybody on this panel has been trying to warn everybody since the season started. Nobody wants to listen. We've got 12 games left in this season. You cannot start dropping points now because you can't make them up. Hey. Once those points are dropped, they're dropped. Once the milk is on the floor, it's on the floor.
Spilled.
It's spilled. Toothpaste out. We all know toothpaste out the bottle is out the bottle. You have to start asking serious questions. And me and Norbsky and DJB, we talked earlier today, man. And I told the guys, I said, gentlemen, I'm highly concerned about the rest of this season coming up. Even at 9 points, Rashid, you'll know this because I told you. I said we got to get to 12 points. What did I tell you last week? I said we got to get to 12 points. I said it has to be 12. Anything single digit with this manager, it's sweating. You're sweating. People say, "Oh well, man, we're going to win it. We balling at 8. Let me rephrase this. People are going. I got up this morning. I heard people say yesterday's game was a good point. Okay, so wait a minute. You're telling me we went into the game with 9 points. We came out of the game with 4. And that's a good point. Now, is that math ain't mathing?
That's girl math. That's girl math. That's what I call it. Girl math.
That's Arsenal math. Only Arsenal fans will come up with you subtract 4. And then you end up with the number that you end up with. 5, and then you end up with that number, and then they tell you that's a good number. Let me tell y'all something. If we go into that City game and it's within touching distance, and they end up getting it through, because we have to get 3 points in that game. There's no draw. I've heard people that, we can draw the City game. We cannot draw any more games. There has to be W's in the win column from today, as I'm speaking, all the way to the end of the year. Don't even think about the Wigan game this weekend. Look past that. Because if we can't beat Wigan, we really having some serious problems. We need to be talking about Wolves. Everybody's talking about, about FA Cup this weekend. Not worried about that. Let's talk about Wolves next week. Because last time we played Wolves, it took three goals, and they helped to beat us, for them to beat them. They had to help us out for us to beat them. And we're getting ready to go to them. On goal. Owen showed up and helped them over the line. And people say, "Oh yeah, we'll make it up against Wolves." Can I remind everybody? A couple of years back, we played Southampton. How did that turn out?
The 1-1 or the 3-3?
The 3-3. You remember the 3-3?
Mm-hmm.
Theo Walcott coming back to break our hearts.
Yeah,
oh,
relegation. All these relegation teams. This is the time of the year where they are trying to do whatever they need to do to either A, play for their careers or survive. That Spurs game next weekend. Oh, it was a laughing matter until they changed the manager this morning. Now got people looking around. I'm getting text messages. Hey, man, you see Spurs? You see who the manager they got? Yeah, I know exactly who they got. They got the old Juventus manager. But you think you're going to go over there and laugh and play? They're going to come out different next week. Same thing Manchester United did. Y'all sat right here on this show and told for, hey, man, get ready. Manchester United, get ready. They're like, oh, we'll blow them away. Okay, well, how did that turn out? Brentford last night. Oh, we blow them away. Well, how did that turn out last night?
Facts.
Anytime we play a team that is remotely decent or tries, we end up paying the price every time. Last night, you got sock out there. Hot water bottles. This 1940 stuff. He's out there on hot water botters, sitting in cold weather. This stuff your grandma used to tell you about, Rasheed.
Yeah.
A hot water bottle. He's sitting out there on his hamstring. So you know what that means. He's done for the year. Could barely run. I had to get on the Lee last night in the broadcast. Lee was like, "Soccer, do something." I said, "Don't yell at him, man. He can't do anything. The man's done. It's over. It's over. It's time to accept it. He's had a rough year this year. It's over." Then Odegaard. How many times I told you all last week? I think I put it in the chat. It was either you or DJ B and North. I said, anytime Odegaard is on the pitch, subtract 2 or 3 points. Just subtract it. It's over. We're not winning. You know, they say some goalkeepers will save you 15 points. Odegaard will cost you 15 points. I think it was some stat Lee read last night, if I can remember. It's like 16 points or whatever we had when he's on the point that we've dropped with him on the pitch. We just drop him every time he's on the pitch. Then you look over there, Jesus. Everybody was back flipping, jumping off chandeliers. Jesus is back. He's taking us to the promised land. Well, what did he do last night? Didn't even play. Martinelli. I told you, can he score 7 games in a row? No. That's been proven. Jokeris, my boy. What did he do last night? Nothing. Can't get nothing. Nothing from nothing leaves what? Nothing. Declan Rice, hanging on for dear life. I told y'all he's like a woman with 8 kids. He's got to wash one. He's got to feed the other one. He's got to clean the house.
And no dad.
Yeah, no dad. Yeah, dad's gone. He went to the store and never came back.
And she's pregnant again. She's pregnant with the time boy.
They got one on the way. They got one on the way. They got one on the way. That's how Declan Rice has to deal with that midfield. It's crazy scenes. Then you look over. Cappy's having a great game. Manager says, take him off.
Hook him.
Brings on another defender. Where have we seen that at, gentlemen? That's not the first time we've seen that this year. This is standard protocol for this manager. Thank God Mascara had the presence of mind to go back and try to get that ball last night because he saved us last night. Magalhaes, I heard a lot of people complain about Magalhaes. Well, Magalhaes bailed us out immediately, right out the gate. 3 times in the game, he bailed us out. Saved us. Because that could have been worse than what it was.
That block was amazing, by the way.
Immense. Then you see Timber. Timber's hanging on for dear life now. He's hanging on for dear life. This is the second or third game here where he hadn't looked, he's starting to look a little fatigued, you know. Then you know if you put in Ben, you only get 4 games from him. Then you go to the bench and what's over there? Ethan's over at Marseille.
Yeah.
Skelly, what was he? He was sitting there he was zipped up like Wenger last night, sitting up in the stands there. He wasn't he wasn't he reading in his pocket getting out candy. He wasn't coming in. Then you look at the manager. What have y'all seen that look at before, y'all? What have y'all seen that deer in the headlights look?
We just talked about it. We literally just talked about that look before you.
I was in my meeting, so I missed it. He has that same look that Manchester United. He had it at West Ham. He had it at Aston Villa. He's had Olympiacos. You can just go down the list. And then here we are.
He had the same look against Kairat.
Kairat, brother. Kairat. This is Kairat we talking about. And then they're telling me, Dan, they're telling me to get ready for the Champions League. Get ready. We're winning the Champions League. With what? With who? The team is depleted. The team is hanging on for dear life. We have had folks, we have been telling people all year, rotate. Nobody wanted to hear anything about rotate. Folks saying play soccer. Well, soccer needs a break. He's hanging on. Oh, if he's available, if he's fit, he's available. That's what I heard. Now, when he comes out there and he's hanging on, the brother was walking like Mr. Magoo. He's just hanging on for dear life, just trying to get across the street. Nothing. And he's not going to get any better. I told Norsky this morning, gentlemen. I said that if people keep saying, well, let's change the way we play. Brother, we 12 games left in the season. Ain't nothing changing, y'all. What you saw last night is the true unclothed Arsenal. That was Arsenal in its purest form last night, what you saw. That was a spillover from the Sunderland first half that we saw last night. Because we're doing the same things that we're doing. It's set piece, ole. And when the set piece don't work, then we'll try to just bomb forward. Then we leave ourselves susceptible. And then once that happens, 1-1, 1-0, 2-2, stuff like that.
Counter.
We are in major trouble. This is why I keep telling y'all that Carabao Cup, he better find a way to win that Carabao Cup. Because if he don't win that Carabao Cup, gentlemen, this season is over. We ain't winning no Champions League. You telling me I'm supposed to believe that team last night is beating Bayern Munich? I'm supposed to believe that.
But we beat Bayern Munich, mate. We beat them already.
No. You beat representatives from Bayern Munich in that game. No. You ain't beat Musiala. You ain't beat the bit when they have a full healthy team. See, this is what, you know what you're going to see, Rashid? You're going to start seeing now because see, even City's in on the gear. They're getting that full team back. He's going to be able to go to the store and get what he needs. And when these teams can do that, we're going to be sitting there scuffling. And you know what you're going to start hearing, fellas? Y'all are going to start hearing, well, it's the injuries. You're going to go back to injuries again. All injuries. We're just short. We need this. We need that. We need this. We need that. But in the season, when the season started, just like I said this morning, they were talking about 18 out of 10 transfer window. Not even they was going way over the moon. 18 out of 10. Brandon was sitting on the panels with me in the summer when we was telling them, hey man, we need, this ain't an upgrade on Thomas Partey. Oh yeah, he's line breaking passes. Oh, he can do it all. He can do everything. He's gonna solve all the problems. Y'all are just being negative. Max Diamond. Well, we need to start loaning out players that we're not using to bring in some other players. Oh, what are you saying that for? What are you saying that for? Now everybody's looking around looking crazy. The reality is setting in. Let me tell y'all something funny before I turn it over. I was on a meeting. This is just me talking to y'all as brothers now. I was on I had to do a portfolio meeting this morning. So basically I would meet some guy I had never met before. So I get on. The first thing he say, hey man, is that an Arsenal scarf behind you? I said, yeah. He asked me this. I'm going word for word, quote him. He said, what the hell was that we were looking at last night? I said, oh, you saw the same game I watched. He said, brother, shut it down. We're not winning anything this year. Now, this is from somebody I don't even know. So just some random this morning I met. Now, if he's saying that, then that tells me that there's people in that stadium feeling that way. This manager has gotten by for 5 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is nothing new what we're seeing. We've seen this. We've seen him go from 4th to 5th in 1 week. We've seen him bottle 8. We've seen him bottle 1. We've seen him go from 1 up to 14. And then this year he's at 9. This brother loves dropping points, man. He drops more points than we got churches in the South. I've never seen anything like this before. This brother is a specialist. You know, Jose called Wenger a specialist of failure. This brother here is a specialist of failure.
Oh, but Matty, he was supposed to be a bumpy ride.
Nah. Now, if it ain't supposed to be a bumpy ride if you got the proper tires and suspension. This brother, that car, y'all seen that thumbnail I had on my graphic a couple of months ago. That's what the kind of car we in. It is on bricks. That car is on bricks, and we are hanging on for dear life. The brace for impact, fellas, because this season, I told y'all, Brandon, you were there when I said it. I said this is going to be out of Patmos settings. This is going to be stuff that you've never seen before. End of worlds, gnashing of teeth, cats and dogs living together. I'm telling you, this is getting ready to be rough because this manager has failed to learn from his mistakes, and he refuses to learn. That's what disturbs me the most about it, is he refuses to learn. After he's been given the proper tools, he was given Eze and Jokeris. This is why I keep banging on about Jokeris. The man scored 97 goals in 102 games. This manager gets him, he can barely get 12. There's something wrong with that. Eze, this brother, we all saw it. The man is winning FA Cups over there, and he's literally guiding the team to the FA Cup. Literally. Comes
4
to
months ago, Matty. 4 months ago. No.
4 months ago. Yeah. And now he's unrecognizable. It's like some chick you've been married to for 3 years. You come home, bro, who are you?
I disagree with that. He is recognisable. He's just become the Black Odegaard. That's what he is, the Black Odegaard.
He said that he's turned into the Black Odegaard. And you have to ask yourself, how is that happening? It's only down to one way. Because Bertus gave the man, he's giving him the money, he's giving him the resources, he's failed to use it. And guess what's happened? He's looking at this whole entire situation. This is the same thing I saw last year. I'm seeing the same thing that I saw when he started last year in January. He's looking dead at it now. Don't you? If he's looking at it, and the hierarchy is looking at it, this manager is on borrowed time. If he does not find a way to win this championship this year, it's over. It's over. Y'all saw the look on his face last night. I don't have to say anything else. Y'all saw it on his face.
Yeah, this might be the season, Matty, where, the fans start to realize the emperor has no clothes. And, bad carpenters don't just blame their tools, they blunt them. And that's exactly what Arteta's doing. Before we come to Brandon, let me just...
Just before you move on from that point, Matty.
Hey, Brandon, I see you holding it down on domestics as well, bro. I was getting wound up with you, man. I was going to come on, man, but... That was crazy, but you held it down, Brandon, man. But it must have been frustrating, bro.
Them man are deluded, mate. Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. This copium shit. Yeah, it don't work for me. Well, exactly. The signs and the signals are there. Everybody knows. Everybody knows the signs and the signals are there. You just have to go back a couple of weeks ago. If we're serious about winning this league, we beat Nottingham Forest. If we're serious about winning this league, we beat a depleted Liverpool side at home. We do that. And we take this shouldn't even be a conversation right now. Let's just be honest. We've had enough opportunities to wrap this league up already. To wrap it up. Man City ain't even been decent this season. They've been shit. They've been absolutely shit. But, as I keep telling people, what Man City have and what Arsenal don't, they have experience. They have a squad full of players that have been there and done it. They have Pep Guardiola, who's been there and done it. Do you think that the likes of Haaland, the likes of Bernardo Silva, the likes of Diaz, the likes of Rodri, do you think they're going to need a rocket up their arse at half-time for any of these remaining games, like what our players needed last night? Our players performed that poorly in that first half last night that they needed a rocket up the arse to go out there and start the second half how they should have been playing the entirety of the game. Like, that tells me everything up here is it's not right, because nobody can deny when you look at our squad, we're full of quality. We have individual players there that have got top quality, but that's not how you go and win championships. Championships isn't just about having the best team. It's not about having the best quality. It's about being mentally strong in the business end of the season, and we are fucking weak. You only have to look at the way we played. Not just in that first half, but after we conceded the equaliser against Brentford. Did we look like we was the ones that were going for the league title, or was it that? Because in my book, they had the better chances. They should have won the game. We was lucky to get out of there with a point. But then again, having said all of that, Martinelli should finish his chance. But again, this is where mentality comes in, because we see that against Forest, where he could have won us the game and he fluffed his lines. Yeah, Declan Rice passing the ball off to our striker when he should be shooting. These are the little fine margins which could have changed the whole perspective of that game. We'd still be sitting here right now saying we were shit, but we got away with one. But even so, a lot of the time,
we did with a lot of games. That's what you mean, Brandon.
We've been doing it all season, Rashid. Yeah. You look at Arsenal. If you go throughout our entire season, I can name probably 4 or 5 games, if you include all competitions, where we've performed at our absolute best. The rest of the time, it's one half football.
Yeah, exactly. No,
it's not. Yeah. We're not even playing for 90 minutes. We're literally dead for 45 minutes, and we'll have spells in the second half of games which go and win us games, or we'll get lucky from a set piece or an own goal.
Hey, Brandon, you know what it looked like?
Those good performance you're alluding to as well had to be opened up by a set piece.
Yep. You know what it looks like? You ever watch boxing, and then you see like the last round in the last 20 seconds when they know the bell's getting ready to end, everybody wants to go in the middle of the ring and duke it out then. That's how we roll. That's what we do. We do the exact same thing. We only respond. If we get scored on, we respond. If we score, we chill out. And then it's just, we just chill out, nothing. Then all of a sudden it's 1-1. Oh, well, everybody, we got to get something together. It's like Manchester United. The man made 4 substitutions. When did he make 4 substitutions like that? All of a sudden it's panic. It's panic stations. We show up to almost every game ill prepared to do battle.
But this is the thing, though, Matty. Question marks have to be asked across the board. Not just the manager, of course, has to hold massive accountability, because I believe exactly what you were saying. We're suffering from the sins of Mikel Arteta from the past 2 years, because the likes of Bukayo Saka, the likes of Declan Rice, the likes of Yuri and Timber, the likes of a few others within this squad have been so overplayed that now you are seeing that they're fucked. They're done. Yeah. They're finished. Yeah. Saka looks finished. Odegaard is finished. Odegaard's crap anyway, but Odegaard is finished. Yeah, he can't even reach the levels that he was reaching last season, which weren't even that good. Let alone the season prior to that when he was scoring 15 goals. Martinelli, this guy at one point scored 15 goals in a season for Arsenal. This guy at one point under Unai Emery scored 10 goals in his first 10 appearances for Arsenal. And now look at the geezer. Yeah, shadow of himself, absolute shadow of himself. And we're relying on a few individuals to drag us out. And this is where poor coaching comes in, because you look at it and you go, cool, Arsenal good from a defensive standpoint. And we're very good from a defensive standpoint. We very rarely concede chances, let alone goals. But what are we doing up the other end of the pitch? At the moment, at this precise moment, the copium that I'm hearing from Arsenal fans is, it doesn't matter that we drop points because we're still 4 points ahead. Okay, but last week that was 6. Prior to that, that was 9. Prior to that, it could have been 13 or 14. How many more times are we going to keep doing this until you go, oh shit, Man City are ahead. That's it, done, finished. And we've seen this before in previous years. But the point I'm making is we have to go and win that league title. That requires us to be decent in attack and create chances. We had 2 shots on target yesterday. Who? A team that's trying to win a Premier League title had 2 shots on target yesterday. Yeah. We barely tested their goalkeeper. Barely. Yeah? Our striker, a lot of people were getting on to him. I thought his hold-up play was all right yesterday. I thought his hold-up play was probably the best that I've seen from him. But
was it him
again,
that played through Timber on that play? Was it him that played through that Timber? Was it him that did that?
Yeah, it was him. It was him. Yeah. And this is the thing. But you got 2 players on that pitch, right? Sometimes when you're not playing well, you need players that are going to fight, right? And when I say, I mean like we're not playing well, but I'm going to fight for everything. I'm gonna run my socks off, and maybe something might happen. There was only 2 players I see doing that yesterday: Declan Rice and Gyökeres. That was it. The rest of them, yeah, they're just dilly-dallying around and, oh, it don't matter. Oh, you know. Well, remember in the Amazon documentary, after Nottingham Forest, when we lost to Nottingham Forest, and Arteta himself said to the players after the game, I see it in training. Sometimes you run to the ball, sometimes you don't. But if you do that in a game, it's a fucking goal. It's the same principle now. Yeah, you can't just pick and choose when you want to perform and when you don't want to perform, because Manchester City, who are breathing right down our necks right now, they have players that know what it takes to get by in the business end of the season. They have a manager who knows what it takes to get by in the business end of the season, and they've been shit. But let's be honest, that Liverpool result there, yeah, is significant for them. They've not won at Anfield for 40 plus years, and they go and win that game after playing poorly. Then they absolutely dismantle Fulham in the first half. Dismantle them. Game dead. Done. Finished. Yeah, I didn't even bother watching the second half because there was no point. That is exactly the attitude that we need to have with games. Yeah, let's not give these lot any confidence. Let's not even give them a sniff of thinking that maybe we're wobbling. Let's kill these games. But our team, now we just want to fuck about. We want to mess around and drop points and, oh, it don't matter. It's 4 points. Okay, cool. But I've always said whoever wins that League Cup, yeah, goes on to win the league. And right now, I can't be confident that we're going to win the League Cup.
Exactly,
you know
Brandon.
I mean?
It's the attitude. It's the attitude and the way we're playing, obviously, but the way also that we're being coached. I don't see us having any chance of winning that. But I'm also going to sort of ask you this question. It was interesting that you spoke about how, you know, certain players in that team don't need a kick up the backside. Let's cast our minds back to the Tottenham game where, you know, Manchester City had a brilliant first half. They were up 2-0. Obviously, Tottenham were their bogey team and they needed to make sure they got a win there. And they did well in the first half. But in the second half, they completely dropped off and they allowed Spurs back into the game. And they ended up drawing that game. And by all accounts, they should have lost. Now, yeah, it's easy to say that, you know, they've been crap this season. But then that also was a game, mind you, which they needed to win to keep the chase on us, to sort of stay on our tail, and they couldn't even do that. It could very well be that there are two watersheds here, one being that Tottenham game and one being the Liverpool game. I think that Liverpool game, as you've mentioned, might have given them the confidence. But then, you know, City aren't perfect. Maybe it was that Liverpool game that gave them, you know, that confidence they needed because, you know, Bernardo Silva said it. It was now or never. And they knew that if they didn't win that game, then their league challenge would be over. So you could say that they rose to it. But then surely you would consider that they would have risen to the occasion against Spurs. Instead, they got completely sloppy and cocky and lackadaisical. You just seem to wonder, you know, if they can put it right, why can't we? And that might be the difference between having an elite manager who knows how to manage his players and a guy who we have, he mismanages his players. He doesn't trust some of the other players he's bought. And I said at the beginning, he should have given Christian Norgard a run out at his former stomping ground. He refused to do that. And now you have a group of players who aren't being given their chances, who are being left in the cold. I mean,
see, is
Arteta really the disciple of Pep Guardiola? Is he Pep incarnate? No, he's not. Right?
I don't actually think Pep's managed Man City that greatly this season. And when you look at that Liverpool game, Man City didn't play well. It was individual players that have been there and done it and won it that dragged them out of it. Bernardo Silva dragged them back into that game. Haaland scored the high pressure penalty. That's something that Man City have over us because it's not about necessarily having a manager even who's been there and done it. You've got to have players who've been there and done it as well. Sometimes you need them to step up and drag you out of a shit situation. Man City did that. Now, the problem is Man City did that, and then they went and did their job like they should do against Fulham, and now we've gone and faltered. So now they're looking at us, whereas previously, after the Tottenham game, you're right, they probably would have been just sitting there going, I don't think we're going to catch this Arsenal team. Look at our run rate. Look at what we got to do, all the rest of it. Now they're looking at us saying, well, look at them. They're faltering right now. We're smelling blood. We can catch these lot. We can catch. We've done it before. We can catch these lot. Best believe as well, someone like Haaland, who told our manager to be humble. And then when we went and slapped them 5-1 at the Emirates last season, and we was kicking out the songs, you know, Kendrick Lamar, Humble and all that lot, yeah, he's going to be thinking about that. He is going to be wanting revenge for that. And he's the type of player who can do that. Yes, he went through a goal drought, but let's be honest, our players haven't exactly been performing at the top levels either. Like, look at our top scorer. Our top scorer is Gyökeres, and a lot of Arsenal fans still don't really particularly rate.
I think own goal 6 and Gyökeres 6. Is that? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Gyökeres
Own
is
goal.
7, I think. No, I think he was 5 before the Sunderland game, and he scored 2 to take him to 7, I think.
Yeah, he's on 7. Own goals is on 5. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
it's crazy.
It is. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, if we do win this league, I've got to say we're probably the worst Premier League champions in history. When you look at that, it's terrible. It is honestly really, really bad.
Yeah, he has 8.
Jock is on 8, by the way. I think we're wrong.
There you go. I was getting
DG.
pelters, right? And this is where Arsenal fans, the top gooners, they're so short-sighted. They're so short-sighted. I was going on streams after FA Cup games, after League Cup early round games, after the Kairat game, complaining because players that are on the fringes of getting into this first team get their opportunities in these games and none of them perform. So the other issue we've got here is you look at them players that are on the fringes and you're like, okay, cool. Which one of you is giving the manager a headache to say, I deserve to start in that first team? Not a fucking single one of them has. Apart from Kai Havertz. And I don't even rate Kai Havertz. I didn't want Kai Havertz at Arsenal. But the truth of the matter is since Kai Havertz has come back from his injury, he's had 5 goal contributions in 6 games in all comps. Wow. Yeah, which is more than what you can ask from him. When you look at him on the pitch and the relationship that he seems to have with Gyökeres, you don't see that from Eze. You don't see that from Odegaard. Yeah, Kai Havertz, the one thing I'll give him praise for is if he's playing in that number 10 role, he stays in that number 10 role. He stays in the pocket. He doesn't come and drop deep for the ball. He allows Declan Rice and Zubimendi to do their job, which they should be doing. Yeah,
and he's a bit more direct than Odegaard.
As soon as he gets that ball, his first thought is, where's Gyökeres?
Yeah.
Tell me when Eze's done that. When has Odegaard done that? None of them have. Right? So this is where it goes a bit stale with Gyökeres, because earlier on in the season, yeah, he's coming to a new side. He's trying to get used to a new way of playing, etc., etc. And then the guy who's supposed to be feeding him is never, ever trying to give him the ball. So the guy's making decent runs, but nobody's playing him the ball. So eventually he goes, well, fuck it. Why am I even making these runs? Because nobody's going to give it me anyway. And then you see in the past few games since Havertz was back, yeah, he's actually started making runs again because he knows Havertz will find him. So Havertz getting injured has also affected us big time because for some reason, Havertz is the only one who plays that position who seems to know how he should be playing that position. Odegaard drops far too deep. Odegaard's far too weak. Odegaard's he's just crap. Let's be honest with it. And Mikel Arteta, rather than letting Eze be Eze, and the whole reason why we wanted Eze at Arsenal in the first place is because he's a different profile of player, a kind of player who's going to pick up the ball and drive at players. Yeah, because he don't want Eze to do that because it's too high risk and we might turn over the ball. He's trying to turn him into the Black Odegaard. It doesn't suit him. Yeah, this safe pass bollocks. And he fully deserved to come off in the first half yesterday. Fully deserved to come off. I'm not even defending him. But there's a bunch of players there that are not performing. And the question always comes back to, number one, mentality, and number two, how this manager is managing them. I am sick to fucking death of seeing Madueke take his man on, do the hard bit, Yeah, try and take his man on again and run the ball straight out of play and give it back to the opposition. What is the fucking point in that?
Brandon, you know what that's when I tell people.
But he scored yesterday, so he gets a pass.
It's
Do you know what I mean?
It's player development, and people don't see when I keep telling people he was doing that when the season started. The season's about to end. He's still doing it. What there's a disconnect there. So there's y'all are not practicing this. You're not working trying to get this word out of his system. And then when we need him to be called upon, he can't because he's still working on the same thing that he was doing when he first got there. This is why I told you it's down to this manager. Now there's some players in this team, like you said, Odegaard, whatever. Those players, you can't save these players. These are Europa Cup players, the Europa League players that's been on this team for the longest. Some of these, this is what the reality of the situation is. A lot of these players are past their expiration date. And we should have moved those players on, but our fan base have this attachment to some of these players that they don't want them to go. There are better players out in the world than Martinelli. There are better players in the world outside of Odegaard. There are better players in the world outside of
comment. Let me hit you with this, yeah? One time, it was 2 or 3 years ago, yeah? They were asked, a lot of AFTV stars were asked if you would change Martinelli and a little bit of money for Mbappe. Mbappe, that was the start of Mbappe. I think he was in Monaco, but he was doing bits.
He was at PSG. He was at PSG. He was at PSG. It was Troops and all the men said that shit. All of them. All of AFTV. All of them who fall under that umbrella. Madness. Troops TV said that shit. Yep.
You hear that, Dan?
Madness. On what you said about Odegaard and Martinelli, Matty, do you not feel that part of their decline is Mikel Arteta? And if we had a new voice, a new manager come in, we might see something different from these players, because that's what I believe.
You know what, Dan? You bring up a good point there, because I look at teams like Brentford. They lost everything. Brentford lost everything. The janitor, the cook, everybody left Brentford. And that brother has got them on the doorstep of going in the Europe.
2 stars, Matty. Two striking stars. 2 stars.
And then if you go back, Rashid, you can go back in just a few years. They lost Tony. He replaced Tony. Then you got to go find, then you got Buemo.
And now it's Igor.
It's Igor.
It's a system.
By the way, he's got 17 goals. By the way, 17 Premier League goals.
Yeah. And y'all saw the ball. You saw everybody. Y'all saw the balls he was getting last night. Did you see that? All the time. One over here. One over there.
Hey, but guys, maybe that's the way forward, right? Because what Brentford did was, rather than replacing Frank, they gave it to the set piece coach. So maybe we need to give ours to the set piece coach. We might as well, because he's the only one who seems to be doing his job.
Yeah, that's what I said. Big up the set piece coach, bro. Email me. I'll get you way more money. Trust me. I'll get you way more money than what you're on. This guy has got us to challenging. Let's be real, challenging.
But Dan is spot on there, because you look at these players, and surely but see this is the thing, Dan, is that if we've waited so long to start talking about moving this manager on, and then now you got these players that they're in decline. Some of these players in decline. Shane sent me a picture the other day of Ben White's knee, the scar on his leg. We all know what Ben White was like a couple of years back. Then you see soccer this year. It's like, bro, they are like fallen soldiers. You ever seen when they have those old military, when they have like those military functions and they bring in the veterans and you see them, they hobbling in and struggling. That's what our team looks like.
Declan Rice is next, please.
With Taryn is BFW.
Tell us more.
Declan Rice is next, by the way. Declan Rice is next. You can't continue playing that many games at the high intensity that he has to play at to cover fucking Zubimendi's bullshit. Yeah, what was he doing yesterday? What, like, you got Declan Rice in that midfield.
Line breaking. He was line breaking,
and he's having to cover 3 positions. Declan Rice is having to cover 3 positions. It's ridiculous. It's honestly stupid. And just going back to a comment, by the way, I think it was Lebu who said about we don't play through the lines, we don't play through the middle. That's why it's so easy to defend against. It's not that. It's we slow things down so much, that we allow teams to get back into position, And then when we eventually reach the byline, if we can't put a cross in the box, we go backwards.
Send it back.
The
Do you know
amount of
what's mad
times
about
I
that,
have
Brandon?
seen,
Hear this. This is the thing. I don't want to cut you off, but this is the crazy thing about Arsenal, the way they play. That's why I don't understand. When we were 9 points clear, I was like, what the fuck? How did we get it? We drop. So the way we defend is dropping back. That's the way we defend. We drop back, right? And when we get the ball, we play it slow. We slow build up.
Yeah.
Did you drop back and play a slow build up? You don't. It just doesn't work like that.
Rashid, he plays a 4-3-3 defensively.
Yep.
An attacking formation, he plays it defensively.
I can't understand, right, how he hasn't got the balance yet, right? Because if you go back to the first season that we competed for the league, I think we'll say that we was probably far too open. Right, we was exciting and we scored a lot of goals, but in the end, what cost us was the defence. Right? Maybe we could blame individuals because I don't think that would happen now with the individuals that we've got now compared to what we had then. Just let's be honest, we had Rob Holding coming in then. We've now got, some half decent centre halves. So I think you can afford to play that way. But my question is he went down the defensive route. It got us almost there, but it didn't work. So how has he not got the balance yet of being defensive when you need to be defensive and attacking in the same way that we did in that first season? Like quick transitional counter-attacks. Why is it so slow, so lethargic? Why is it that I can replace any one of these players with a brand new player? Think of a name, any player on the planet that you rate right now. Yeah, I guarantee you, if we bring him into Arsenal, yeah, he'll be playing the same way, playing the same bullshit as what we see from all of these other players. And that's why, realist Schooner, I agree with you when you say about a manager, right? Because how is it that Odegaard, for example, can score 15 goals in the season where we are actually free-flowing attacking football? Martinelli can score 15 goals in that same season. Yeah? We've got players here like Gyökeres, who scored 96 goals in 100-odd appearances. So he knows where the back of the net is, right? We've got other players like Saka, who have, over the years, consistently come up with goals and assists. But now, we're struggling to get 3 or 4 goals out of them, 3 or 4 goal contributions out of them in all competitions. Oh, this is mad. How can you have that quality and not be able to get it out of them? Do you know what I mean?
Hear this. Look at this comment here. Risk adverse in the attack, risk it all defending. Big up Footy Bants, by the way. This is a lit comment. Defenders in attacking positions and attackers constantly tracking back. It's all backwards.
Yeah,
it's all backwards.
The entire team is inverted. Yep.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many graphics I've shown where you got the defenders in the box waiting for it to take a shot on goal in 2026.
Well, yesterday was proof of it because you're in Timber. You're in Timber was in the position where Gyökeres should be, or Madueke, or whoever.
Declan was in the position. It's crazy. It's madness. This is madness, y'all. I'm telling y'all, this is absolute madness.
At this point, I reckon what we should do is we should switch it around. Right? We should put Gyökeres as a centre back. Yeah. Put Gabriel up front. Maybe if we do that, we might get somewhere.
David
Raya as well, right?
At least we know
David Raya as well. David Raya, we have to have a conversation on David Raya because he's been very, very good this season. However, he has been a clown in the last few games, an absolute clown. Yesterday, he made a great save, but he caused that. He caused that. Like what? I don't understand what's going through his head. Like we used to have Aaron Ramsdale who come out and said, "Oh, I can't concentrate because I'm too busy looking at pigeons." What's this guy doing? What is this guy doing?
If he'd been about if he'd been a half a second back getting in that goal yesterday, I mean, everybody was like, "What a save!" He had to make that save. Yeah, he had to make that save. Otherwise, he was going to be hell on wheels.
Fact.
I mean, these are problems, gentlemen. I can't stress how concerning this is. That these are problems that we've seen all year, and we're in February. We're in February, brothers. These are stuff that's supposed to be worked out. We talk about City. City went through their rough patch, and we allowed them to hang around. Everybody was taking points off Liverpool, except us.
Well, forget the points for a minute, Matty. We couldn't even score a goal against Liverpool.
And they played better than us. It's the mad thing. They played better than us.
Yeah.
Yo.
Manchester United's been torrid.
You know, Liverpool has kept 7 clean sheets.
Oh, but it's individual brilliance.
You want to hear a stat right quick, fellas? Y'all want to hear a stat that's going to blow y'all mind? Against the, our fan base like to throw out this top 6. Oh, yeah, we destroyed the top 6. He's got us competing against top. This year, against the top 6, 9 points out of a possible 24.
I hate that.
Man.
You know what? Here's the thing for you, right? Let me ask the question on the panel to demand them. When have we ever seen a team go on to win the Premier League with one big away win?
Never seen it.
We have one big away win this season. It was at St. James Park. One.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It was 2 set pieces, by the way. Shout out the set piece coach.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, brother. At Anfield, we shit the bed. Stamford Bridge, we shit the bed. We think we're going to go to Etihad and win. Oh, shit.
No, man.
Don't forget Villa Park. Yeah, that literally was the game which broke some of us, by the way.
Yeah.
We
recovered to beat them at the end.
Wait till next weekend when we go to Spurs. Watch what I'm telling you.
Hey, boys. Forget Spurs. We need to focus on Wolves because we needed 2 own goals to win that fucking game.
Yeah, if we lose to Wolves, I'm throwing in the towel. If we lose to Wolves, I'm throwing in the towel, bro.
That's it.
Seriously.
Now forget about not losing. We need to win. A draw is a loss. A draw is a loss. And 100%. Brandon, I want to say right now, well done to you for bringing up David Raya. I don't know if you go on Twitter these days, but whenever you take a look at David Raya trending, you always see these tweets about how world-class he is, how many clean sheets he keeps. He's on course for yet another Golden Glove award, and if he wins silverware with us, he'll be one of the Premiership's greatest ever. It's disgusting. It's sickening for the reasons that you've mentioned. You know, leave alone the fact that sometimes his head's not quite screwed on in moments like you mentioned with that ridiculous throw. There are times when his positioning leaves a lot to be desired. If you remember, he's been lobbed from near the halfway line on quite a few occasions, including against Spurs in the North London derby. And against Bournemouth last year, his handling was also very poor. And of course, he never should have allowed that ball to go through his legs from Matthew Cash at Villa Park. There are too many technical deficiencies with him. And the idea that people can big him up as David Seaman incarnate is disgusting, because now we seem to be in love with these players who, quite frankly, are just more often than not system players who only know how to play one way, who don't have the all-round technical skills to really be considered the best in their craft. And yet he's somehow managing to keep clean sheets thanks to his defence as well. But the sad part is that this chap is a calamity waiting to happen. And I keep warning people. I warn people. One fine day, this bloke will cost us a big game or a big trophy, and then people will see the light. Since when did individual achievements like Golden Gloves awards, take precedence over winning trophies? That's why people like David Seaman, Jens Lehmann, and of course, we've got to mention the elephant not in the room, Emi Martinez, will always have a special place in my heart, because they're winners. They play for the team. They want the team to succeed, and then they'll get their plaudits. It's just I don't even know where I can begin. But it's another aspect of the culture we have right now, where people say, "Oh, let's just play this football. Let's rack up these stats and give people the idea that we're the best." And then when we fail to win nothing, people will just say, "Oh, we're still a world-class team." To hell with that. Kenny Ken said it perfectly. You can win trophies without necessarily being world-class, but you will never be world-class unless you win trophies. Do you concur with that?
100%, man, 100%. But Mandem, thank you very much. Thank you to the chat as well. Thank you, Dan, BBK, Manny, Matty, Brandon. You made it a lit show. I can't lie. Everybody that's locked in, listen, we're going to redirect to Aaron. He's going to be doing the calling show. That's a lit show as well. Better check that one out. Sub to the team as well. Sub to me. And yeah, people. Next game, Wigan. Hopefully we see some football. Yeah, we're out, people. Love. Rashid Vaid.
Anything less than the win against Wigan is criminal. I'm not even going to watch that game.
3-0.